So the Indiana Pacers, they got an opportunity and a second chance opportunity to play against the Washington Wizards. And after the beat down on Charlotte, I said, oh, they're going to bring that same type of intensity to the Wizards game. What happened?
They became the Charlotte Hornets. What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Undrafted Views. We're here. We talk sports from the sidelines. And today we're going to give our perspective on the 2021 play-in tournament. Was it worth it? Let's get into it.
This year's play-in tournament completely surpassed my expectations. I mean, because I thought last year's was pretty good, but this year's made a bigger fan in me. How do you feel about the play-in tournament overall?
It was fun to watch. I think that it just made me more excited about what the playoffs will have to offer. So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Okay, so let's start with the Western Conference play-in. I mean, the Memphis Grizzlies played the San Antonio Spurs. And, you know, to be honest with you, it was kind of uneventful.
It was. Can I just say that Dillon Brooks happened to the Spurs? Like, Valanciunas happened to the Spurs? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Look, San Antonio, no disrespect, but I'm going to need for y'all to do something new for the next season. I'm just going to need for something to happen. And there is no way that you can continue to put that basic product out on the marketplace.
It's basic.
Like, unless the Grizzlies defense did it, the Spurs offense was JV. I don't know what happened.
Yes. I mean, if we're talking about Memphis, the Grizzlies defense, oh my goodness, you can't say defense without Dillon Brooks. You can't.
Not on that team. Not on that team. You know what? You often hear that, oh my gosh, defense wins championships. Well, that was proof that it does right in that game. And we ain't gonna talk about what happened next, but right in that game, Spurs, what? You said in previous videos that in Pop you trust, and you going, Pop is it. I'm like, is he really? With this roster. Maybe yes, Pop, but what is missing from the Spurs roster?
I just don't know. It's just not their year. I think they were very fortunate just to be in the play-in tournament. Okay. I really don't think they believed that they were coming out, if I'm being honest.
I'm going to tell you right now, what I would like to see is DeMar DeRozan get a three-point shot. Like, there were points in the game I was like, oh, DeMar, this is right when you need to pull this right here, pull up right here, right? No, you're looking to pass.
Nah, he's not going to do it. He's mid-range.
And it's amazing. His mid-range shot is solid. I'm not discounting that at all. But if he wants to be able to compete in this modern NBA as it's continuing to grow with the three-point shot, I would like to see him develop one. He may not be a master at it, and that's fine, but 0 attempts in the game. 0. At least those that are not even great at shooting 3 points would at least get one attempt.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the courage to, maybe he doesn't want to add that to his game. And if that's what it is, that's okay. And if the Spurs want to, continue to have him on the roster, which I'm fine with as well, then create shot makers around him. That's all I'm saying. We just need a little bit. I need a little bit more from the Spurs. And they didn't give it to me in this particular game.
No, they didn't. Now let's move on to the other part of the Western Conference play-in. The Lakers played the Golden State Warriors, and that game was the complete opposite of the one prior, right?
I was on edge. You know what? These playoff games, my nerves is going to be real bad. I'm just like, should I watch the rest of it? What can I do? Because I don't know what to expect. It was really a good game. I was on the edge of my seat. I was rooting for the Golden State Warriors. And at the last minute, I was like, man, but you know what? LeBron James, that 3-point clutch shot in the end, amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I was rooting for the Warriors too, and I thought they would pull it off. I mean, their defense was pretty good in that game, but it just came down to the last shot, and I'm surprised LeBron took that because I personally don't think he has the clutch gene. Everybody talks about that. A lot of times he likes to pass the ball. He's a pass first, but he made that shot, and kudos to him.
He made that shot. I mean, even though he was seeing 3 baskets, according to him.
Yeah, allegedly.
He made it was it was what the Lakers needed to get over, because really that game should have gone into overtime. And you know what makes me really mad about that game? Why in the world was Steph Curry contesting that shot?
I
He
know.
shouldn't have been nowhere near LeBron in that shot. You know Curry is a little iffy on D. Like,
I
what?
know. I know.
That's
I
just
watched that
like,
replay over and over, and it wasn't even a legitimate contest.
no.
Let's just say LeBron was wide open on that shot.
I just couldn't believe it. You know what? Another thing that I disliked about that game is that I did not like the fact that Steve Kerr had to come past half court in order to get his timeout.
I know. I
Because
saw
for me,
that.
I don't know, but in my gut, it's telling me that was an additional 2 seconds that was removed from the clock because he had to walk over to get his timeout. Now, y'all refs can't be that engulfed in the game that you're not checking for somebody, other coach calling a timeout. Don't do that. Don't let
Yeah.
that happen in the playoffs. So I'm not saying that's the reason why Warriors lost the game. No, but stuff like that makes me feel a certain way, and I just don't like that.
But the reason why I think the Warriors lost is because turnovers. They're terrible with the ball. It was unbelievable how many turnovers they had in the third quarter alone. That was the game.
The game was over. You're right. The game was over in the third quarter for sure, and it was very difficult for them to recover. The Warriors actually said, "Lakers, y'all can have it because we're not going to protect the ball." I'm thinking one of the fundamentals of basketball is to protect the ball.
Protect the ball.
Couldn't do that. Like, and we're talking about an elite team, right? Warriors consider themselves to be an elite team, and when your elite players cannot protect the ball, what does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah. There's also talk that JTA and I believe Jordan Poole was in on trash talking with AD, and Anthony Davis said it poked the bear. And I'm like, come on now. Come on.
How they gonna poke you?
I know.
A championship winner. I mean, how they gonna poke you, AD? Really? These youngins in the league?
Stop it. I don't know. The game was the turnovers in the third quarter.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct. That's correct. And so and unfortunately, because the turnovers were so much in the third quarter, the Warriors couldn't get a hold of the game again. They lost a grip of the game. And that's just unfortunate that you're going to lose a game because of your turnover, because you failed to protect the ball.
Okay, so the Lakers advanced to the 7th spot in the Western Conference, which left the Memphis Grizzlies to compete against the Golden State Warriors. And how'd that matchup go?
Oh, matchup of the play-in tournament. That is the one. For me, yes, the best matchup in the play-in tournament was the last game against the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies. Absolutely amazing.
It was very entertaining. And I didn't think it would be at first. I didn't think it would be. I thought Golden State would single-handedly just win that game. But the Grizzlies, hey, they made a big fan of me. I ain't lying.
Oh, let me tell you, you know what? I wonder if the Golden State Warriors were expecting the same outcome against the Grizzlies that they actually received that they had on that Sunday, the Sunday prior to. It almost was like maybe the games are too close in proximity for the Golden State Warriors, because they had just beat the Grizzlies. They just beat them.
They did.
However, I think it was an advantage to the Grizzlies because now they knew, after probably watching film, that, okay, this is how we attack the Golden State Warriors. And when I tell you that Dillon Brooks on Steph Curry, I promise you, it was almost like they were puppet strings together. Like anytime Steph Curry moved, Dillon was right in his face.
Yes. It was amazing to see. And the amount of effort it takes to stick with Steph Curry as much as he moves, it was unbelievable. The stamina, unbelievable, Dillon. Wow.
So has Dillon Brooks been performing this way the whole season? Because if he has, shame on everybody that's talking about sports. Because if nobody caught that, and we didn't make that, and that wasn't like top of mind for these national sports commentators, even for us, we got to do a better job, because there is no way that he should have gone under the radar. That man is a defensive, like right now, his stock is like
all the way
up. Like it was amazing.
Should he be in a conversation for a defensive player of the year, though?
Based off of the performances I've seen in the last few games that he's played? Absolutely. Anytime you can stop the all-time scorer for this season, an elite basketball player who everybody adores. Let's just be honest. Steph Curry, the league and the fans adore him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a great basketball player. And when you can find someone that can stop him or at least make him flustered when he shoots his 3 points where it doesn't make it, come on. Consistently. I'm talking about throughout the whole game.
Yes, yes. And you know what I appreciate about the Memphis Grizzlies? How deep that team is, because they got Valanciunas in foul trouble. They got Jaren Jackson Jr. in foul trouble. So what did Coach Jenkins do? He went to his third string center in Tillman. I was like, what? And he made a huge impact. Going deep.
Okay, let me tell you something. How deep is your love for the game? How deep is your love for the game? Because if it doesn't show up on your roster, the chances of you being able to make it out is crazy. You know what? I made a note that they went so deep in their bench, whereas the Warriors only played 3 people from their bench.
Yep.
You didn't trust your bench to come in and help with Steph Curry and make some more offensive plays?
Yeah. And that was the problem too. They just didn't have enough offensive weapons. I mean, Andrew Wiggins tried, but he missed a really crucial shot in that fourth quarter. Jordan Poole, JTA just didn't come through. They didn't come through in this game.
And that's what I'm saying. You can expect players to miss shots, right? You can expect that to happen. But if you don't have any other resources on your bench that you can perhaps pull in for maybe, 4 or 5 minutes, just to kind of give your core or your main role players some rest and kind of regroup themselves, then what you doing? 3 deep? They went 3 deep in their bench, the Warriors.
Yeah, not enough. Let's talk quickly about Draymond Green and his ineffectiveness on offense. I didn't even think he played a good defensive game this last game against the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know what was going on with him.
I wonder if he appeared to be a lot less combative. Which was kind of weird. And maybe it was because he didn't want to get ejected from the game. Why did he have the ball for the last shot? Please, somebody, Kerr, can you please explain to me why it was Draymond? It probably wasn't drafted. It probably wasn't, written up that way, but it just happened to be that way. Why?
Oh my God. Draymond could have won the game for them. You remember he shot that floater going down the middle? I'm like, oh my gosh. That was the game too. He could have won the game, but you know why he had the ball? Because they knew he is not an offensive weapon. You can leave Draymond open. He did hit a 3 in the fourth quarter. And I was like, oh my goodness. But no, at the end like that, the ball needs to be in Steph Curry's hand. It's been in his hand the whole game. Why are we giving it to Draymond now?
No, I disagree with that. Steph Curry shouldn't have had the ball. You know why? Because Dillon Brooks was on him. And the way he defended him, Steph Curry's shot wasn't going in as fluidly. It just wasn't, right? So maybe somebody else was supposed to maybe have the ball in the end. I just don't know why it was Draymond. I understand why, because he was actually in the lane by himself. Somebody was, I forget who was standing there to contest his shot. I just don't know why he didn't just drive to the basket to get the foul. Why didn't he just drive to it? He's an expert at getting fouls. Like, he's expert at driving to the basket. What made him do a floater? Like, I don't understand it. And then that floater, I said, you know what, Draymond?
Yeah. It just floated into the air. Didn't even hit the rim. Did it hit the rim?
Did it hit the glass?
Oh gosh.
I know.
Had he gone to the rim with more force, he would have gotten fouled. He could have won the game in the final milliseconds, you know?
Yeah. And even if the ball didn't go in, he would have been able to at least win the game on free throws. Like, I just don't understand. It was just weird. I don't know. But I don't think he would have been able to. I think probably he was trying to get the ball to Steph, because, that's pretty much what his role is, get the ball to Steph.
Yeah.
You wasn't going to do it when they was double teaming him. And one of the persons up double teaming him was Dillon Brooks. Like, it just wasn't going to happen. That game was amazing. And I am so happy that the Memphis Grizzlies gritted it out, because they played their hearts out. Now, I'm quite sure, I've been checking on Twitter and I've been seeing where people are like, I'm not going to watch the game. I don't want to see the Grizzlies and the Jazz. Well, I mean, the best team won. Like, what are we talking about? They played very hard. You cannot take away anything that the Grizzlies did. They played to their spot. I'm not even mad. I'm not mad. I'm really excited for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and they're the youngest team in 10 years to make it. And their coach is so young. This is groundbreaking, I think.
It's needed, right? It's now, yes, I am sad that the Golden State Warriors won't be there. Oh, yes, and Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors were able to pull themselves up, pull themselves up by the basketball net and get right to, the play-in tournament. I'm happy about all of that. But I'm sorry, it just wasn't enough.
It just wasn't enough. And I think next year we'll see something different, but we'll see. So let's move into the Eastern Conference. Okay, now we had the Boston Celtics play my squad, which is the Washington Wizards. How'd you feel about that game?
It was okay. It was a good game. I just don't think the Wizards were fully functioning.
No.
In that game.
No.
And that was unfortunate, although Jason Tatum put up that 50 piece.
Yeah.
But you know what, great. Though? Unfortunately, he's going to have to do that in every game.
Yeah. Hey, he played great. Hey, whatever.
What do we expect from Jason Tatum? What do we expect? And not only Jason Tatum. Hi, Kemba Walker. Again, If Kemba Walker does not show up, the Celtics do not have a chance to do anything. So welcome to the game, Kemba. I'm so glad you did what you did.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. The Wizards. Yeah. I was like, who is this team? I didn't even recognize them. They didn't play with the same passion. Russ was kind of out of it. So, hey, whatever. Boston advanced to the number 7 seed in the Eastern Conference. Good for them,
Good for them. Good for them.
So the Indiana Pacers and the Charlotte Hornets, you know what? I'm just going to say this. I thought the Charlotte Hornets would win that series, would win that game. But when I tell you Indiana, did a beat down on the Charlotte Hornets. It looked like the Hornets did not even belong there.
When I tell you the Charlotte Hornets looked like pedestrians under the basket, I kept saying, is anybody going to contest anything that the Pacers drill down? Like, when I say they were standing around and the basket went in and they were looking at each other like, oh, who gonna get that ball? It was horrible. It was horrible. They weren't ready. They were new to it for sure.
Yeah, the Hornets.
Absolutely. The Hornets were new to it for sure. And it showed. What
happened to LaMelo? What happened to Mr. Box Office put butts in seats? What happened to your guy, LaMelo Ball?
He's new. He's a rookie. He didn't know. He gets a pass for me. But where was Rozier?
Oh, Rozier, 2 for 18 or something crazy. He didn't play well. It was like they were on vacation already. I'm sorry.
Matter of fact, their bags were already in their vehicles. They were on their way to the airport, not to go back to get prepared for the next game. No, but to go on and put their feet in some sand. I was just like, what? Is this game over already? That's kind of how I felt about it. I was like, oh, this is like embarrassing.
It was really bad and a shock for me.
The Pacers controlled the game from the beginning. They had 30 points. They were up by 30 by the end of the third quarter.
See,
they also had more possessions than the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets, what were you thinking?
They weren't.
And you know what, though? Where was Gordon Hayward? See, this is what I'm talking about. Where was your boy?
Ain't my guy. Nope.
They were missing him. He had the experience, right?
Yeah, see? You can't count on Gordon Hayward. I've been saying that from the jump. That's why the Celtics got rid of him for sure.
Man, but that would have been a great opportunity. Was he injured?
Yeah.
Again.
He's been out for a while. Yeah.
Sorry. You know what, Hornets? Enjoy your vacation and get ready for the next season. It's good. It's all good. Y'all got time. LaMelo, hey, this is what you can expect. I'm telling you right now, teams, if you think the regular season is going to be what you will experience in the playoffs, you are going to be sadly mistaken and you'll be going home. It's a different type of game.
So the Indiana Pacers, they got an opportunity and a second chance opportunity to play against the Washington Wizards. And after the beat down on Charlotte, I said, oh, they're going to bring that same type of intensity to the Wizards game. What happened?
They became the Charlotte Hornets. I was just like, oh, Pacers. You know what, though? I really feel bad because when I was watching that game, I cannot believe I fell asleep. That game was so boring to me. It was so boring to me. I was watching the game, and then the next thing you know, I had missed a small chunk of it because it lullabied me right to a nap. I couldn't believe it. In the middle of the game, it was so boring. That game was so boring. Oh my God.
Oh man, hey, it worked for me because the Wizards advanced to the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, which means now they're gonna have to play against the Philadelphia 76ers. Woo! I hope they're ready. Was the play-in tournament worth it? Was it worth it for all of these teams to have to play these extra games and duke it out to make it to the playoffs?
In retrospect, I don't think the play-in tournament is worth it. I really don't think the play-in tournament is worth it, because when we're talking about the East, the teams that are in the playoffs were the teams that were in 7 and 8 spot before the play-in tournament began.
That's true.
Was it just for more money? I mean, or did the league must expected a different outcome? But if you were in the 9th and 10th spot, perhaps that's where you should belong. And to fight your way into a playoff spot, is that really fair to the team that already secured it? I'm still on the fence with that. Although it was fun to watch. Some of the games are fun to watch. When you think about it, did you just waste my time? Nothing changed. Now, when we go to the West, I still say no, although I think the game with the Warriors and the Grizzlies was really great to watch. And the idea was that the Warriors would actually maintain the 8th spot, and it didn't happen.
Of course, that's what the league wanted, right? They wanted Steph Curry in the playoffs. Of course.
Stop doing that, because when you did it last season to see Zion and the Pelicans, it didn't happen. So whatever this is, it's not worth it.
Now, Adam Silver has come out recently to say that he expects it to be around long term, but he has to get the shareholders to buy off. I know. I actually like the play-in tournament. I think it was worth it just for pure excitement, and it kind of made teams really fight. Like towards the end of the season, it was like a dud. Usually it's a dud. But it created a lot of excitement for the end of the season into the play-in. And now it was kind of like a primer for the NBA playoffs. So, yeah. All right, you guys. So we're going to wrap up this episode. Make sure you drop down in the comments and let us know if the right teams got into the playoffs. Let us know. We look forward to engaging with you all in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and we will see you guys on the next one. But until then,
peace.
Peace, y'all.